Good morning, this is Zachary from Zachary Sweeps, and today I am replacing the gasket rope on an Arrow Fires wood burning stove. And basically what's happened is this one's not too bad, but it's sort of fraying away here. And so what we're going to do, but when you look at the one down the bottom here, as you can see, it's just coming away. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all that off. So best thing to do with these is just pull them off like that. Nice and easy to do. Just take it off like that and do that like that, and then we're done. Do it on that one, and then obviously do the same on this one. Get a nice loose bit and then just pull it off. The good thing about this particular wood burner is you don't actually have to leave the door open, door on to put the new glue and rope on, so which is really good. Basically it's got some screws there and there, so I've just checked to make sure that they're going to come off, and they're going to come off fine. Always make sure you have the right size screw, Phillips screwdriver, because basically obviously you don't want to damage the head of the actual hinges of the, and also obviously the tops of the heads of the screws. Otherwise if they fray, then they're going to be very difficult to get off, and then after a while it'll be a nightmare. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to just have a quick hoover up, tidy it up, get the rest of the glue off, take the door off, and then we shall put the glue on. One thing I will say while I'm doing this is when you do take the screws out of the brackets, what you want to do is you want to take the bottom ones out first and leave the top ones in, and then what you want to do is you want to screw that one, and then make sure you're holding it underneath when you take this one off, because obviously clearly you don't want it to drop down. But it's always important to take the bottom ones off first, then that one next, and then hold it and unscrew that one at the same time. Right, now got all the glue out and the rope. That was a very difficult one. I think they didn't use normal domestic gasket glue on this one. I think they used super glue, because that would not come off at all. So all I can say is thank goodness I've got one of these little wire brushes which did the job. I had to scrape it off with a very sharp well, it was like my scissors, and I had to scrape it out, but it still wouldn't come off. But in the end the wire brush got it out. But as you can see, it's all clear now, ready for the new rope to go on. Right, the next thing I've done is I've put the glue around the edging. As you can see, obviously we're using hot spot heat bond. Oh, brilliant stuff. Same with the old the rope. This particular rope that we're using is 9mm for this particular appliance, and what I'm going to do now is just leave it to just dry a little bit, so it's a bit more tackier. I always find it's a lot more easier, especially when you've got to put the door back on and everything. So I'm just going to leave it for a few minutes, and then I'm going to stick it on there. Just to finish off the video, basically put the gasket rope on. I must admit this was a bit of a challenge, this one, because it looks like it's been stuck on with super glue, so it has been quite an interesting one to do. I've said to the customer the best thing to do now is to actually just leave it for a good 3 or 4 days. Probably Friday probably be the best day to open it, and I've said that if there's any issues to call me straight away. It's all part of the service. I'll come straight back and sort it out. But if any of the rope starts to feel like it's tight on the actual appliance, just don't pull it off, because it could be just a little bit that's loose. And what can happen then is, if it's a little bit loose, what can happen then you can pull the whole stuff off. And also on this side as well, because it's hasn't been done for such a long time. I couldn't undo this bolt to get to adjust it, so I've had to bend this a little bit, just enough so that it'll give it a nice grip on the actual appliance. So like now, when you shut it, obviously these are different, because if you watch the hinge there, it closes. You've got to, and then obviously pull it tight, and it's nice and tight now. But obviously that's got to drop down when, so you've got to put this, open this, close this first, and then close this afterwards. So it's the other way around. When you do it, you open this first, and then you open the ashtray afterwards. So that's how it works. So that's it. It's all done, and yeah, give it a few days to dry out, and it's be ready to go. So yeah, and it's going to make a huge difference to the appliance, make it very much more heat efficient, and then as time goes on, as I said, that's the only problem when they put the nuts and bolts in the wood burners. I wish they'd stop doing it. It's a real pain, but you know, obviously it's not down to me, but obviously they expand, and then you can't get them off, and of course it's so close to the glass that it can create all sorts of problems and everything. So you know, just make sure you just have a feel around. Everything's all fine. This is perfect. So and this has worked out really well, so I'm very happy with that. So yeah, just going to shut that, and as I said, like, keep it closed now so that the glue will dry and it will stay into position. The other thing I was going to say is, once what we'll have to do with this, obviously because the bolt won't come out, I'll get a pair of pliers next time, like I had to do, to open it up a little bit, just close it down when it comes to that point where the rope needs to go tighter. So probably when I come around for a sweep, I'll have to sort that out, that gap there. But at the moment it's very tight on it, and it's all looking good. Great, another successful mission from Zachary Sweets. Have a lovely day.